Year 7 Maths. We're still working through this booklet. It's got 9 topics. We're up to topic 4, so let's go to topic 4 and we'll continue with the answers. Express the following decimals as percentages. Just remember, if you want a percentage, we have to multiply a decimal or a fraction by 100%. So we've got 0.12 multiplied by 100. When you move the decimal point, whenever you multiply by a multiple of 10, you go the number of zeros, these 2 zeros, to the right to make it bigger. So we move the decimal place twice to the right. And we end up with 12. So the answer is 12%. Let's go to the last one. Once again, to change it to a percentage, we multiply by 100%. Whenever you multiply a decimal, you move it, the number of zeros, to the right. So it's 1, 2. And we end up with, we've moved the decimal point, it's now 87%. Let's go to number 2. Express the following decimals as percentages. Once again, decimal or a fraction to a percent, we multiply by 100%. Move the decimal place 2 places to the right to make it bigger, because we're multiplying, and we'll end up with 70%. Down here, 0.04, multiplying by 100%, 2 zeros, so we're moving the decimal point 2 to the right, so 2 places, and we end up with 4%. Right, down to the next one, question 3. Express the following decimals as percentages. Once again, multiply by 100%. Move the decimal place twice to the right, 1, 2, and we end up with 3 point. So the answer is 3%. Let's try this last one. Once again, multiply by 100%. Move the decimal place here, once and twice, so it's going to come between the 4 and 5, so we end up with 4.5%. Question 4, same question, change the decimal to a percent, so we're going to multiply by 100%, move the decimal point twice to the right, and the decimal point comes between the 6 and the 2, so it equals 6.2%. Down to the last one. Once again, we're multiplying by 100%. Move the decimal point twice to the right. So our decimal point's going to come between the 1 and the 4. So we've got 81.4%. Down to question 5. Convert the following decimals to percentages. Once again, multiply by 100%. Move the decimal point twice to the right, once, twice, and our decimal point will become 12.3. So it equals 12.3. Last one. This is a pretty long decimal. So we've got 4 decimal places. Multiply by 100%. And move the decimal place twice to the right, so the decimal point changes, it comes between the 3 and the 6, so we've got 93.63%. Don't forget the percent sign. And the last one, this is pretty clever, we've got more than 1. Let's see what that works out to be. Once again, multiply by 100%. Move the decimal place twice to the right, and our decimal comes to the end, so we've got 145%. Let's go to the last one. You probably have a guess of this one, but we'll do it again. Multiply by 100%. Make sure you write that. Move the decimal point twice to the right, so the decimal point will come between the 1 and the 4. So it's got 881.4%. 8.81%. 8.814%. Just fix up the form. 8.81, sorry, 8, oh, I've written this wrong. Let me do it again. So 881.4%, just shows you can make mistakes. 881.4%. All right, let's go over the page to topic 5. Now we're coming up with different questions. Find the percentage of a quantity. Now we know of in mathematics means times, so we're going to change the of to times. 5% times 60. So to make it into a decimal or a fraction, we say instead of the percentage sign, we divide by 100. So we're going to say 5 divided by 100 times 60 times 60, and do that on your calculator. Some of you know how to use the percentage sign. You can do that as well. You'll get up the same answer. So 5, oops, it's turned on. 5 divided by 100 times 60 equals 3. So equals 3. So 5% of 60 is 3. Let's do it the other way. 5, find your percent sign, times 60 equals, and you still get the 3. So there's two different ways you can do it on your calculator, and hopefully you'll choose a way you remember. Let's have a look at the last one. 65% of 1600. So you're either going to use the percentage sign on your calculator, or you're going to get rid of it and divide by 100. So it's entirely up to you which way you do it. Alright, 65 divided by 100 times 1600 equals, and your answer is 1040. Right, next one. Work out the following. 75% of 248, of means times. Once again, you can use 75% on your calculator, or you can just say 75 divided by 100. So this time I'll use the percentage sign just to be different. 75 shift percent times 248 equals, and you'll get 186. Just remember, choose a way that works for you. And this one here, 38.5% of, so we use times for of, and we'll use our calculator. 38.5, just remember you can divide by 100 if you want, multiplied by 560 equals 215.6. Next question, calculate the following. So we're doing the same thing each time. So I'll vary which way I go. Just remember, you can either use the percentage sign on your calculator, or you can divide by 100 instead of using that sign. So it's entirely up to you. So this time I'm going to divide by 100 just to be different, but you can do it the other way. 12.5 divided by 100, in my head I know that's 0.125, so I'll say 0.125 times 64 equals 8. So equals 8. Let's go down to the last one. 10.3% of 750. This time we'll use a percentage sign just to be different. So we've got 10.3, get our percentage sign, times instead of 750 equals 77.25. Right, last one. Now we've got some units that you've got to remember. So some of these actually have units. So I might do the ones with units just so you know what to do. So we've got 15.5% of 365 days. So your answer has to have days in it. So 15.5%, 15.5. Just remember, instead of the percentage sign, you can divide by 100. Multiply by 365 equals. So this time we've got 56.575 days. You could always change that to fraction, but you don't need to. So there you go. And let's have a look at another one. We've got kilograms here. So we'll do question H. 40% of 10 kilograms. So we'll say, in the calculator, 40. This time you can use the percentage sign. I'll just divide by 100 to show it's the same answer. Divide by 100 times 10 equals. So you get 4 kilograms. Just don't forget you've got to have any unit in your answer. Same with the dollar sign. You'll have to have a dollar sign in your answer. So just be careful of what you've got there. If it's got a unit, it must be in your answer.